Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to show you a town in Apulia region, and I will focus on the properties for sale in this town in Apulia region. So let's start the video. The town we are talking about today is called Canosa di Puglia. So here where we see this red dot, that's where Canosa di Puglia is. So we are talking about Puglia region that goes here from the Gargano Peninsula down here to Salento area, Lecce province. And so Canosa is in the BAT province. So we are talking about Barletta, Andria, Trani province. So which are three cities in this area, in Apulia region, and these three cities all together, they're making a province. So let's read what it's saying here at the bottom of the screen on the left. Canosa di Puglia è un comune di 27.410 abitanti della provincia di Barletta, Andria e Trani. So we are talking about 27,410 inhabitants. So more than 20,000. So from this point of view, Canosa, let's say it's not the town where you're gonna have this taxation at 7%, but it's also true that around Canosa there are beautiful small towns where it's possible to, for example, buying a property in a town that is under 20,000 inhabitants. But let's start anyway. I want to show you this town because I really like it. It's not far from Montemilone. I'm talking about 30-35 minutes driving from Montemilone, and you can already find all the services that you might need if you want to do a bit of shopping. So Canosa has everything. And then let's zoom in. Around Canosa we have these three towns that I'm gonna show you now that are also making the province, which I call Barletta, Andria, Trani. Now here we have Canosa di Puglia. Okay, so then we see that there is this town here called Cerignola. Now Cerignola is already in Foggia province. As we can see, let me move my face here. As we can see, the Foggia, for example, here we have Foggia, which is a town that is already, it's a city. Anyway, it's the capital of Foggia province. And also, anyway, Foggia province is quite big. I will show you later. But so, let's go back to the BAT province, Barletta, Andria, Trani. So, here, if you see at the bottom of the screen where there is this lake that is a dam, we can see Montemilone. That's where I am, where I'm located. Then there is this town, Minervino Murge, which is from Montemilone, it's 20 minutes driving, and Minervino Murge is already in Apulia region. Then from Minervino Murge to Canosa, it's another 10 minutes driving. So let me show you also here the locations around Canosa. So basically there is Barletta. Let's start from Barletta, BAT, Barletta, Andria, Trani province. So Barletta is the capital of this province. Is already on the sea, so Barletta is on the sea. From Canosa to Barletta is 15 minutes driving. It's a very short distance, also because the roads are all straight, there are no turns, so easy to commute from Canosa to Barletta. Then we have Andria, which is another town bigger than Canosa. We probably are around 40-50,000 inhabitants. And then we have Trani, which I also made a video I've done a video in Barletta, I've done a video in Trani recently, so it's quite easy for me to commute to this area. And also, anyway, then there is Bisceglie, Corato, but here we are already in Bari province. Ruvo di Puglia is well known for the wine, Ruvo di Puglia, Bitonto, Modugno, Bari. An example, Canosa, Bari, just let me write the destination, Canosa di Puglia. Ok, 1 second, I want to show you from Canosa di Puglia to Bari Airport. Ok, Canosa di Puglia to Bari Palese, just to have an idea how far is from the nearest airport. So we are talking about 45 minutes driving, which is a kind of short distance. So from Canosa in 45 minutes you are already in Bari, avoiding motorways. So there are good, the roads are quite good. All right, so now this was the introduction from Google Maps, and now let's go 1 second here on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, we'll see here is in Italian language, then it's easy to translate in English. You have to go on the Italian Wikipedia, all right, to have as much more information as possible. So Canosa di Puglia is an Italian municipality of 27,410 inhabitants in the province of Barletta, Andria, Trani. So associated with the province of Bari until 2004. Until 2004 was under Bari province. It is located on the northwestern edge of the Murge Plateau. Murge is a particular area. In this area is a kind of, it's also a park. The Murge Plateau, from which it dominates the Ofanto Valley and the vast plain of the Tavoliere delle Puglie, ranging from Mount Vulture to Gargano to the Adriatic coast. Also, this is quite important to say. The municipality of Canosa is considered one of the main archaeological centers of Puglia. So there is a lot of history in Canosa. Now there are plenty of tourists that are coming, let's say, for these archaeological reasons. And it represents one of the most significant cases of a city with a very long continuity of settlement, as demonstrated by numerous archaeological finds present in the area. And then anyway it shows the territory, history, climate, origins of the name, and so on. Here on Wikipedia is possible to find a lot of information. Here you'll see on this Italian map where Canosa di Puglia is, plus this is the province, BAT province, and in red we see Canosa municipality. But I will show you better now that I go on realadvisor.it. Okay, now I'm switching. So these are the municipalities that we find in the BAT province. Let's zoom in a bit more. Okay, now let's say that the southern part of BAT province has the border with Bari province. Okay, the northern part has the border with Foggia province, and the southwestern part has the border with Basilicata region. So, for example, if I'm zooming in, you'll see that here, for example, there is Monte Milone. That's where I am. That is in Basilicata region. But then I have three municipalities with which Monte Milone has the border, and they are already in Apulia region. One is Spinazzola, another one is Minervino Murge, and the other one is Canosa di Puglia. Now, On this map, as you can see, we see the average price per square meter in each municipality in this province. Now, obviously, we start from the red or dark red, as we see. We have Trani municipality, which is the one with the highest prices per square meter in this province. Then in orange we have, let me see, which is Bisceglie. So if we choose, for example, for Bisceglie or Barletta, prices per square meter are a bit cheaper than, they are lower than Trani. Then we notice that we have yellow, two municipalities in yellow. This one here on the sea is a very touristic destination called Margherita di Savoia. It's a very important town historically, also because here it's one of the biggest place in Italy where the salt always had been produced. This, I don't know what's the name in English where of the places where people produce salt. Anyway, here there is this lake that is also a natural reserve. So in yellow we have Andria and Margherita di Savoia. Then we have in light green these two municipalities. One is Minervino and the other one is San Ferdinando di Puglia. And then in dark green we have these two municipalities, Trinitapoli and Canosa di Puglia. Now, I've picked Canosa di Puglia on purpose, simply because it's this municipality where the prices per square meter are the lower in all the province. Now, as we can see here, if we move on the left of the screen, Canosa di Puglia, mercato immobiliare, prezzo al metro quadro, so the price per square meter. If we are talking about an apartment, the price per square meter is 654 euro. While if we are talking about houses, the prices per square meter is 792 euro. So the prices per square meter are under 1000 euro. Then here we can see that this 792 is the average in between the minimum property found online for sale, which is 213 euro per square meter, to the highest for sale, that is 2609. So this is important to show you the the price market. So we might guess that in Canosa di Puglia properties are not very high. Now let me go back on Idealista to the main page, and let's start investigating the properties that we can find under 100,000 euro for sale in Canosa di Puglia. Now, Canosa di Puglia, as you can see, Barletta, Andria, Trani province. Canosa is the municipality. Now, here we have 180 houses for sale, but we are going to do a bit of selection here, and I would start with avoiding auction properties. So if I'm avoiding auction property, we drop to 128. So there were many properties under an auction. Then I'd say let's focus just on houses. And from 128 we drop to 60. Okay. And then are we gonna put a maximum price? I'd say let's put 120,000, even if I'm always looking for properties under 120,000. And then let's avoid properties that are less than 80 square meters for property that are bigger than 80 square meters. All right, and then the last selection is lowest price, from the lowest price. Now we see that we have only, after this selection, we have 27 houses for sale. Now, I will just have a random look, and then if I find anything interesting, um, I will make videos just about the interesting property. Now, let's start from this one. Detached house in Via Santa Caterina, Canosa di Puglia. So they're only asking 25,000 euro for 81 square meters. I believe, anyway, we have an independent building consisting of a dining room, living room, kitchenette, double bedroom, and so on. Now here they're showing pictures from outside. There are not, then the rest is advertising. Then we have another one, detached house, 25,000, but they're not showing any pictures. Detached house in Via Carso 36, Canosa di Puglia, 30,000 euro, 3 rooms, 85 square meters. Let's have a look at the of the pictures. So I guess this is the house. I'd say I'm sure that for this amount of money, property is in need of renovation. But, for example, by what I see, obviously is in need of renovation, needs works, but the property itself, it has its potential. Anyway, if we think about the location, now anyway, to spend a few words about Canosa, I'd say that in Canosa there are more properties for sale than we see here. The thing is that, again, also in this town, there is the problem that the majority of the properties for sale are not even listed online. So that's why it could be harder to find properties for sale online. Anyway, here, as we see, we are talking about very low budget because 34,000 euro. So, detached house in Via Luigi Pirandello, Canosa di Puglia, 34,000 euro. We offer an independent building consisting of a living room, kitchenette, double bedroom. So, it doesn't look very big, but let's see the condition of the house. So they're only showing from outdoor and the terrace. Now they're showing a lovely terrace. From Canosa di Puglia, it is also possible to have a sea view because it's not that far, but you have to have the right balcony or the right terrace. Detached house in Canosa di Puglia, 35,000 euros, 4 rooms, 100 square meters. Detached house developed on 2 habitable levels of 50 square meters each. Now, this house, the price is very low, but again, no pictures. I'd say that the house market has to move a bit in this area, in particular from sorry, in particular from the estate agent point of view. So if they want to try to sell, uh, probably they focus just on the local market. They are not really focusing on expats or foreigners who are interested to buy. Um, because anyway, there is a demand, an internal market in Apulia region, in this province, where people and families are buying properties in these towns. But obviously, if they don't list online, it's going to be harder for people to find these properties. Now, detached house in Vico Volturno, Canosa, 36,000, 105 square meters. Now, there are 16 pictures, an independent building consisting of a dining room, living room, kitchenette, double bedroom, small. Let's have a look at the pictures. Okay, for example, here I see a good floor, the floor is in a good condition. I say that it might be in need. I see the vaulted barrel ceiling. Most of the old houses in Canosa have uh, the barrel vaulted ceiling. Usually they don't use uh, the star vaulted ceiling, but they are using the barrel vault here. So I see a house that is not in a very bad condition. Should be explored a bit better, this property, to understand the rooms. The bathroom also is not very new. I would just make a shower here, for example, because this is a small bath, kind of useless, sorry. Then here we have a terrace, which is an extra. Also in Canosa, there are, as we can see on the picture here, there are apartments. Italians generally prefer apartments than houses. This is the trend. If you are talking to an Italian, it will always tell you that they prefer apartments. All right, anyway, let's see the following one. Canosa, 43,000, 3 rooms, 80 square meters. An independent house located in a corner position on 2 habitable levels of 40 square meters each. Now, let's see. Again, here the floor, for example, is in a good condition. Kitchen, an old kitchen. But I see that overall the house, it's not in a bad condition. Unless you want, but it depends on about the bathroom, depends about the blinds, the frames for the windows. I mean, there are a few things that obviously this house here, if we are thinking about that it's selling for a tiny bit more than 500 euro per square meter, we are talking about a very cheap property. I can also say, let me go back 1 second here on Google Maps, just to show you that I've noticed that, for example, there are a good amount of B&B in Canosa. Now, I want to see if they're gonna show, because now there are plenty of restaurants. It's a very active town. Again, touristic because there are plenty of archaeological sites. As we can see here, many restaurants. It showed me before, for example, hotel, B&B here. Anyway, there is the potential for Canosa to have to open a B&B, because again there is a demand. It's not showing me too many at the moment, but okay, here we have a retail shop. Okay, I want to see if there are more B&B. Lunar, Le Dimore, Casa di Nonna Lia. So, La Casa di Nonna, there was another one here. So, there are a few, Ipogeo, and anyway, restaurants. It's a lovely town. And again, very, very close to the sea, because in 10-15 minutes you're already on the sea. All the people from Canosa go to swim daily, let's say even after work, they go to the sea to have a bath in the afternoon, in the evening. All right, so we saw that property for 43. Now let's see this one. In the historic center, pedestrian area, a few steps from the city center, with shop and all the basic necessities. Now here, obviously, the problem could be the parking space, but also I'm sure there is the possibility to park. Now, not too bad. Obviously, pictures are not great, but I see lovely arch, I see lovely area. Bedroom is on a 2 floors. This is an interesting house. It's a pity, again, and I will never stop repeating in each video, that estate agents are not showing better quality pictures, more pictures, because there is the potential to sell these properties. Now, detached house in Vico, Amerigo Vespucci, Canosa di Puglia, 55,171 square meters. Independent 5-room house plus accessories, terrace available, ideal for restaurant business. Now, in case someone will hear, they're showing that anyway, it could work as a restaurant. I don't know. Anyway, it should be investigated. I see it's in between, but not very bad condition and works to do. Lovely terrace. I'd say to open a restaurant here, you need to invest a lot of money. So I would not go for it. I'd rather make it if it's this big, 171 square meters, and if I have to invest, sorry, I'd rather make a guest house of this property. And again, there is the potential to rent all the year around here, simply because tourism is not only seasonal for the sea, but there is also different type of people who are coming here. So there is the chance for historical reasons, archaeological sites. Now, detached house, 55,000 euro, 120 square meters, an entire building on two habitable levels of approximately 60 square meters each. Let's see, so there are two properties, but no pictures. Again, such a pity, I cannot even make a video myself if I want to show in the details the property. Detached house in via Domenico Cotugno, Canosa di Puglia, 58,000. We offer an independent building consisting of a living room and so on. Let's have a look at the pictures. So we have the entrance on steps. All right, so maybe not the most convenient location, but it's in the historical part. The house looks interesting. I like this kind of balcony inside the house that is leading probably to the bedrooms. It's an interesting shape with a lovely terrace. Lovely terrace. Again, terrace, terrace. They're not showing much of the house. 60,000 euro, detached house, independent house. The house arranged on two habitable levels of 40 square meters each. No pictures. I think I should go personally and make videos of each of these properties for sale. Maybe it could be a job for me and to show also to appreciate this location. Because if we're looking for a bit underrated location, this one has the potential. So 69,000, ideal for investment with an 88 square meter rooftop terrace. Here there are 18 pictures, so there is parking space on the road. Okay, I guess is in need of renovation. Space are particular. Okay, the house inside with this huge vaulted barrel ceiling needs to be plastered. Probably the house hasn't been lived uh, for a while. Kitchen. Okay, it is in need of a bit of works, but again, it has its own style. Bathroom, I see, not very old, but again, there's a lack. I'd rather have a shower than a small tube. Here we have this space that I don't understand. It's quite interesting. Maybe this is on the ground floor. It's lovely. These old tiles are quite nice. It's an interesting property. Should be investigated better. Now, I guess now that we are going over 70,000, we might find properties that they might not need big renovation works. Let's see this one. Historic center, we offer, let's see. Okay, this house is in a good condition already. Then I see a master bedroom, dining room. This is the hall, dining room. It's an interesting property. This should be lovely terrace. Most of the houses I've seen that they have a terrace. Interesting. Then here they're showing the floor map. Again, not many pictures. Then here we have another one for 77,000. Again, doesn't look like big renovation works. Interesting. Bathroom in a good condition. Wow, very spacious terrace here. All right, this it seems the location. In a central area means you don't need the car to do any sort of shopping in this area. It's a pity that anyway Canosa has more than 20,000 inhabitants. Then detached house, Canosa di Puglia. Again, also this one looks in a good condition. Vaulted barrel ceilings, beautiful. Has been renovated recently. Lovely bedroom. There is another bedroom, probably plus a terrace. Interesting property with this lovely corridor. And anyway, it's anyway 80,000 euro for a house that is not in need of renovation in the heart of the town. Interesting. All right, we see another one, 84,000 euro, 140 square meters. It should be seen in what condition the house is. Interesting. Interesting. It's a bit very stylish with these stones. Also here, it's only to understand the spaces, but it doesn't look like in need of big renovation. Bathroom looks in order. Corridor. Interesting room. Probably was an office. It looks like it was an office. Anyway, my friends, so I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I close for now because I think the video is already a bit too long, and maybe I'm gonna show you more properties for sale in this area in the following videos. All right, my friends, have a nice day. Put like and subscribe if you like this type of video. Takes 2 seconds and it doesn't cost anything. Bye for now. Bye.